But first, the White House is condemning Russia's new wave of missile attacks across Ukraine.
Several cities were hit overnight, including the capital of Kyiv. Ukrainian authorities say Kyiv withstood, quote, one of the biggest rocket attacks since Moscow first invaded the country back in February. At least 2 people have been killed in this latest barrage. The White House says the latest attack largely hit civilian infrastructure.
CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab joins us now from Odesa, Ukraine with more. Hi there, Imtiaz. So Ukraine is claiming that Russia used strategic bombers in this attack. Can you explain what that means and why this is so significant?
Elaine, Michelle, good to be with you. Yeah, it's a very concerning development, the use of these Tu-95 bombers. These are Soviet-era aircraft, of course, modernized. But really, why this is concerning is because what these bombers do is not only can they attack sites here in Ukraine, they're a very fast aircraft, but what we understand they've been deployed to do is to essentially confuse Ukraine's air defense system. Now, those missile attacks on this country, 76 just today, are usually fired from vessels from the sea or from ground inside of Russian territory. Now, of those 76, 60 were intercepted, but 16 were not. And that, of course, has caused this sort of considerable damage and casualty that we're seeing. You can see around me, it's very, very dark here in Odesa because the energy grid is largely down here. And so if this is a new tactic being used by Moscow to confuse what has been a very successful air defense system for Ukraine, that has very big potential harm that it could cause in this country, which so far has been very good at repelling Russian missile strikes.
And when you say intercepted, do you mean shot down?
Exactly that, shot down. And they have been very, very skilled at that. And just the other day, when 60 Russian missiles were fired at this country, all of them were intercepted when Iranian drones which are essentially kamikaze drones, they're designed to blow up. Those were intercepted as well. So Ukraine has a very sophisticated missile defense system, but as we've been seeing today, not effective enough because 16 of those missiles made their targets and claimed lives.
So the U.S. Congress passed a massive spending bill, Imtiaz, part of which will send more military support to Ukraine. So what can we expect out of that?
Yeah, $800 million. That's $500 million more than President Biden had asked for it. Now, $800 million may not sound like a lot when you consider the many billions the U.S. has so far given Ukraine since the start of this invasion. But really what it does is it signals that President Biden plans to support Ukraine throughout this. And so we can expect much more in the way of support in Ukraine when it comes to weapons. And one of those weapons is going to be very crucially Patriot defense systems. We understand that, we know that the U.S. will be providing Ukraine with that defense system. Russia very unhappy about that, which could perhaps explain some of the devastating attacks we've been seeing. In fact, today's attacks, which is really one of the largest we've seen since the start of this conflict. But very quickly, as I wrap up here, some alarming information coming from Ukraine's defense leaders. They're warning that Russia is planning a very large-scale assault starting in the new year. They believe that Vladimir Putin wants to try to take the capital, Kyiv, one more time. Remember, in February, March of last year, that huge column of tanks, which essentially stalled, which really saw this Goliath of the Russian military stumble in the very early stages of this war, and has really set up, from what we've seen, as this very nimble David in Ukraine, which has just been able to repel these advances from Russia. But if that is indeed what Vladimir Putin is planning, what we can expect is more violence and more death in a country which has already experienced so much.
So troubling to hear. Imtiaz Tyab with the latest from Ukraine. Imtiaz, thank you.